Well, hello, my friend. Welcome to Breakfast with Sergio, episode number 346. Let me ask you this question. Is your artwork too cheap or is your artwork too expensive? Great question. This is something that we were talking about inside my coaching group the other day. You know, when is your artwork too cheap and when is your artwork too expensive, right? You want to be in the right place when it comes to your art. Because here's the thing, you know, for example, you can take a work of art that, let's say you price it at $1,000. So you have a work of art that is priced at $1,000. Well, you take that artwork, you put it in social media, and let's say somebody DMs you and says, I love that, you know, can you give me the pricing? So you give him the price to that person, says $1,000. That person looks at the price and says, hell no, that's a lot of money, too expensive. Why not? So then you start thinking about this, like, well, am I pricing it too high? Is my artwork too expensive? People cannot afford it, right? Now, you take the same artwork, you put it in a show, let's say you submit it to a gallery, or maybe you participate in an art fair, you bring it to a gallery, you still have a price of $1,000. So people walk to the gallery or walk to the booth, they look at that painting and they say, wow, 1,000, that is actually very affordable, it's very cheap. You know, so it's the same artwork, same pricing, but on the two different contexts, right? Somebody who may have no idea how much art costs and all of a sudden looks at the price and says, wow, that is super, super expensive. No way. And then somebody who may have context on how much art costs and looks at your pricing and says, wow, actually, that is not expensive at all. So that is, you know, why having your pricing and thinking about your pricing, you know, to be the right one is such an important thing and such an important task for the artist to take care of and to take the time to figure this out. Now, when it comes to pricing, I always think of a triangular shape. And that's kind of like the framework I use for pricing. So if you think about triangular shape, at the top of the triangle, you know, the top corner of the triangle, you think about yourself as an artist, who you are as an artist. Are you an emerging artist, mid-career, established artist? Have you been making art just for 2 years or 20 years, right? I mean, if your last name is Koons, if you're Jeff Koons, well, you know, your pricing is very different as if it's Sergio Gomez, right? So you got to think about who you are, where you are as an artist. The prices that I had when I was an emerging artist are very different to the prices I have now. So you got to think about, you know, who you are as an artist, where you are in your career. That's one side of the triangle. If you look at the other side of the triangle, on this over here, then you look at the context of the art market, right? The art market of how this artwork is going to exist in the world. So you look at pricing by other artists, by also other works of art of a similar size and scale, and by artists who may be at a similar stage in their career. So that's the art market, right? That's because your artwork does not exist in a vacuum. You know, it will exist in the context of other works. So that's the market. That's also where you are in the world really matters as well, right? So you look at those things, you study that, you study the market in your area or wherever you want, the market that you want to reach, you study it. The good thing about that is that pricing today is very transparent. You can go to artsy.net, for example, and look at how art galleries are pricing artwork by different artists. You can go to Saatchi Art, on the other hand, and you can see how artists themselves are pricing their artwork as well. So it gives you a bit of a context. Say, okay, you know, if I had $1,000, what can I buy with that on a gallery versus, you know, on Saatchi Art, for example, directly from artists, or Singular, or other marketplaces like that online. And also visit local galleries, see what galleries, art fairs, and artists working in their studio, you know, as well. So you look at that. And then on the other side of the triangle, you know, the third side of the triangle, you look at also the artwork itself. You know, how big is it? What is it made of? There's a big difference if it's a work on paper versus if it's a canvas, right? Or if it's this size versus this size. If it took you just 2 hours to make versus, you know, 20 months. So those are the things that relate to the artwork itself, the object itself. So you look at yourself, the artist, you look at the market, and you look at the object. And that, you know, should give you a very good pricing point that you can use. And my friend, you know, if this is something that you want to work at more and something that you really need to work at, I believe that talking to others, it really helps. You know, looking at others, how others look at pricing, it really helps as well. So I'm going to be hosting a totally free boot camp, which if you know, you've been on my boot camps before, they're really awesome. So the next boot camp is coming up on September 20, 21, and 22. So 3 days. It's a 3-day boot camp, and it's the Emerging Artist Art Sales Bootcamp. We're gonna talk about all about sales. The first day we're gonna talk about pricing and pricing formulas and pricing ideas, and you get to talk about pricing with other artists, and it's gonna be really good. It's gonna happen inside of our Facebook group, totally free. And if you wanna be part of it, all you gotta do is go to www.theartistnextlevel.com/bootcamp. Super easy, all together, theartistnextlevel.com/bootcamp, or look for the link in the description of this video. I hope you join it. It's gonna be really cool. Bring your friends along because it's totally free. And let's continue this conversation about pricing. So I think it can really help you out, figure out where you are as an artist and if your prices are right. So have a great day, and I will see you in the next episode, my friend. Over with Sergio. Goodbye.